Hey everyone. Today I just wanted to talk to you guys about what's come to be named by people as the produce gardening method. This is an experiment bed I did before I started the quarter acre project. I've had a few talks recently where I've mentioned that, like, my method of farming as such, and what I call self-return. So I wanted to kind of demonstrate. A few people said, can you do a quick video on it and stuff like that. So this is one of the beds. This is basically the first bed I did as an experiment 12 months ago before I started the quarter acre project. Now, it's just come through all the heat. So we had weeks of like mid to late 30 degree heat, 40 degrees. So it got hammered and a lot of stuff got cut back down. So it's rained. So self-return in the sense that the self of the plant is returned to the bed itself. So I don't use fertilizers or compost or anything like that. If you go to the website, theproducegarden.com, it's talked about a little bit more on there. I'm currently just writing a book on it. But I just wanted to demonstrate. Like, you can see here where all this stuff is being returned as well. There's all kinds of things now. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, it was like this was packed full of stuff about a month or so ago, and I've cut it all back just because everything started to bolt and wilt in the heat, so everything got returned. But again, this is probably a good illustration of that interim period as well. So we've got things like, I'll give you a brief overview of what we've got in here. We've got wild fennel, rhubarb, oregano, sage, that's a nectarine tree, the last of the strawberries, wild strawberries there that were popping up everywhere, thyme, comfrey, more oregano, sorrel. There's just tarragon in there. So self-return in the sense that, like, all of this stuff, like say this sorrel for example, I'll just grow it as a fodder basically and then just put it back. So it builds up its own natural compost basically, in the purest sense of the term. Like, you're basically putting it back on top to break down and add those macro and micronutrients back into the soil again, but without utilising fertilizers, whether or not they're organic or chem-free or what have you. It doesn't matter. So I just wanted to quickly give you. I've got a bay tree that I propagated that I've got to put in, so that's just going to go in there. You can see all the leaf litter. This bed might be a bit of a better example. This is where the onions were. You would have seen in the self-sustaining onion video. Parsley, more onions, horseradish. There's a potato in there. Now all these onions basically are just going to hopefully self-seed and pop back up. And you can see that soil quality as well. Like everything, that's some silver beet, which is like a kale. Everything breaks down. There's a heavy amount of life in the soil, the microorganisms, worms, etc., breaking things down and returning it to its natural state where it's taken up by the plants. So things like this, like say this parsley, just rip it out, leave it. This silver beet, which isn't doing much at the moment anyway, and that's all. That's it. That's all I do. So just return like that. In the next bed you can see there's a whole lot of sage that's just gone off its head. I can't keep up with it. I wish I knew someone who wanted a heap of sage. But all this stuff, like even the oregano and things like that, like I will literally just chuck it back. Obviously you're harvesting what you want, and then in the excess is just returned, and self-seeding occurs, so stuff just pops up. Like the other day I just pulled out a couple of onions out of here that just popped up. So, This is what I've been talking about at talks and lectures recently, but it's kind of nice to illustrate it a little bit. A couple of things have blown in from next door. Actually, there's a bit of rubbish there. I have to pick that up. Bloody people can't use bins anyway. But there's, you know, you just like, here's this strawberry. It's an alpine strawberry. So like things like that, if I don't, I know it's going to die off. Oh, good on you. I know it's going to die off soon anyway, so I'm just, you know, literally pulling it out. So this is that interim period where I'm basically cutting stuff down to regenerate, like what you would after harvest when you would apply fertilizers and stuff like that. Like I might apply some chicken manure. I might apply that rooster actually. It's a bit noisy in here, but that's just an example of what I'm doing. And the produce gardening method, I didn't really want to have a label, but it's nice to have some kind of name if you've been working on something for years. So it's like that, you like to have some kind of ownership. Oh, obviously this nectarine, it being in here too, creates a nice amount of shade during the hotter parts of the day for sensitive things that are underneath it too. So, and obviously those leaves will drop and that leaf litter will break down as well. So that's, sorry, I just thought of that. But yeah, it's nice to, it's nothing new. It is an amalgamation of everything that I've studied and learned over the years, and basically just, you know, I'm not saying it's anything new. I haven't reinvented the wheel or anything. It's just a method of farming that suits me, and I've just taken bits from here and there. No-till, organic, permaculture, biodiverse, all that stuff. So, but hopefully book will be out down the track anyway. So I just want to kind of let you guys know what's going on there, because people have been asking. So this is my method at the moment. This is what I'm up to, and it's doing well. You know, it's only been a couple of years now with this method as such, as opposed to just purely organic, and it's gangbusters. It's really doing well. Everything's really taking off. So, you know, so far so good. It's all good. Cool. Alright, thanks for watching. Like I said, any questions or anything like that, give me a yell. But have a look on the website and you'll see I've kind of got a few pictures there. The Quarter Acre Project, which is a massive version of this, as opposed to this size. This is a relatively small 3x3, whereas the other one's a quarter of an acre for obvious reasons in the name. And there's photos and bits and pieces on there, so, and more about the produce gardening method as such, as a form of agriculture, or, you know, gardening. Cool. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.